Questioning myself if I believe it though. No longer question if I'm really a believer though. Now you should take into account that my account can build my belief. Take into account I must account for what I really think. Being in the space I learned to see. I only ever make what every day I can't believe. I gotta go. It's the only life I know. I believe it in my mind, so I know it's time to show. It's the only vibe to go. I do believe it. Do you believe it? I said, are you a believer till the end? When your funds are low, can you believe in it again? No longer ever questioning yourself if you believe it though. You never questioning yourself if you believe it though. You know the deal, please don't take it out. Never taking no L's if the Lord helps me on. Lord. Never taking no L's, so I stay with me so long. Never taking no L's if the T with me on. Never taking no L's, so I stay as ego. We just landed on the moon in the Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the same pulse. Our predictions coming soon with a halo. All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Wow, the market is back to being bearish again. Here to share with all of you our insights, our analysis, as usual. I wasn't here last week. It was Memorial Day weekend. Also a pretty big day for me. I got married, officially married to my fiance, Kristen. So yeah, new life, new chapter. Time to make some more money to the moon and beyond. I hope you're all doing well. I appreciate the shout outs. First person on the stream here. Hey, what's up, Stephanie? What's up, Amaka, The Bello, Bobby, what's else? Bjorn, all the way from Cyprus. Welcome. Good to have you here. Relax King in the house. Good to have you here as well. We are officially starting The Bello. Is it bearish though? Yes, very good question. Is it bearish? Because thanks to tokenomics and thanks to our platform, the market indicator is officially bearish. Now, this does not mean it's the end. This does not mean time to pick up the ball and go home. This just means we're in a bearish trend, right? Throw the notion of a bull market, bear market out the window. Think of the market as having bullish and bearish trends, because you can have a bearish trend in a bull market and vice versa, right? So we're here to talk about that. So while the market is bearish, our watch list and the tokens we've been holding that have done pretty well, like Collat, which did a 3x, are still bullish, right? So we're now officially making money in a bearish trend. Now I'll go through and share our analysis on whether or not we should continue holding or take profits or get off the table. I think, as mentioned last week or on our webinar to our customers, we took some money off the table on Collat, right? Did a 3x, took the initial out. Now it's just house money, right? Collat could go to zero and would never take an L, right? Because we took out the initial money and put it into some other trades that have also done pretty well using the platform. And I'll go through and show how we're finding these trades using tokenomics, even when the market is bearish now. Now, what does change in a time like this is you have to become more of a sniper. You can't just shoot and spray, right? Put the shotgun back and pull up the sniper, right? You have to be very particular, very cold and calculated with what you're trading in the market, because the market is now officially risk off, right? It was risk on where almost anything was going up. Not anything, but if you knew what to look for, you could find the trends, you could find the alpha. But now the market is very, very cautious. Tokens that were liquid now are drying up in liquidity, right? Typically by 10x or 90%, right? So a project could have 1 million daily trading volume, and now with a risk-off environment, it drops to 100K or less, right? Which eats into the returns. It locks you into being able to sell. So you have to factor all this. So looking forward to all this. If you have any questions you want to ask, we'll do the AMA. Just go to menti.com, menti.com. Put in the coupon, actually not coupon code, just put in the code 1907-3823, or just scan the QR code to submit your questions. We'll get into that. Hey, what's up, Simon in the house? Thanks for all the congratulations. Yeah, bless up. Right now, time for all of us to go out there and eat. Got a family to feed. All right, so normally we do so we've done the audience welcome. Normally we do the coin of the week, but because it's really a bearish market, we don't really want to be covering all these tokens. But if you guys have any questions or tokens to cover at the end of the AMA, I can cover that. But let me just go straight into the market update and show you exactly what I'm referencing. Right? So let me switch to, if you go to tokenmetrics.com, anybody can access this. Now log in or create an account. Even this page, you don't have to technically log in to get access to this, but this is the hub. This is where we start everything. This is the lay of the land. This is like your hub, your operating system. When you log in, it gives you a pulse on the market. This determines everything because it tells you whether or not, one, the market is risk on or risk off. If it's risk on, you can be a lot more aggressive with your trades or your investments. If it's risk off, you have to be very cautious. You have to measure 3 times and cut once, right? So one thing we noticed is our bull and bear gauge, which is really basically a moving average of all the grades on our platform, all the trader grades on the platform, right? And the trader grade is comprised of technical indicators and quantitative metrics, right? Over, at this point, 20 different indicators. So think RSI, think Ichimoku, think Bollinger Bands. But you don't have to be an expert trader. We just have the AI give us a grade and tell us, is this bullish or not? And same thing with quantitative metrics, right? So the returns, the Sharpe ratio, the max drawdown, all these different metrics. That is what comprises of our trader grade. And we have thousands of trader grades on the platform. And we just give you an average over the last 60 days, basically, and where the market is. And this is a pretty good way to know whether or not to take your foot off the pedal. And this, I think, went as high as, it was basically in the buy territory, which is 60 to 80%. And now we've been declining. It's been getting lower and lower. Good time to take some money off the table. So as you can see here, the total crypto market cap went from 3 trillion when it turned bullish and peaked at about 3.5 trillion. So about $500 billion was added in the market. And now we're going back down and it's officially gone bearish. Now, our AI doesn't have to know what's going on with the macro, but it picks all this up just looking at the data, looking at the technical indicators, quantitative metrics, even some fundamental metrics for investor grade. But if you're trading the market or swing trading the market is cooling off, basically, right? It's turned bearish officially. And if we come down here, this shows the different sectors, but a chart I like to look at here is Bitcoin versus altcoin season. And typically, when this chart crosses when most of the returns go from being in Bitcoin to altcoins, this is a good way to kind of take some money off the table. So ideally, you wait until it goes to like altcoin season, where most of the returns are in altcoins, or it's testing this down here. But this cycle does not really happen much. But whenever this touches, not financial advice, but based on the data, a pretty good time to take some money off the table, because this has typically led to a top, right? This was basically when AI agents were just going to the moon and beyond. AI XBT did a 10x. You had Eliza, ARC, and some others, and then boom, they came down. But this year, I mean, Bitcoin has done pretty well. But the main premise I'm saying is the market is officially bearish. You can see here the best performing bull signals we've had have also been declining, because that launch coin, when it launched, I think last time we had the stream, it was like a 35x. It's now down to 15x. So it still made money, but the returns are diminishing. If we come down to launch coin, I'll show you with the charts. We can see here it's gone from 28 cents down to 14 cents. Right? You can still hold if you like. But with this, I mean, I would not be holding, honestly. I would have taken some money off the table. But what I want to go to is, so we know the market is bearish. Let's go to our watch list. So if we go to the ratings page here, we can look at the tokens we've been saving on the watch list. Right? So it's just under favorites. So we have collateralize, which we covered before. So we'll pull that up and do a quick update on that analysis. We can see here all these tokens on the watch list are technically still bullish, and the trader grade for these is over 80%, so they're still relatively doing well. But the rest have begun to turn bearish. Not all these did we cover on the stream. Some of these are ones we've covered on the webinar. Tokens we did enter within the last week, because we canceled the stream last week, but we entered into these tokens, RWAX, RAX, and Port 3. I can cover those. And they're still bullish. Oh, wow. Actually, this one's up 41%. Okay, so looks like this is the first time I'm logging in the last few hours. Okay, but let's begin with collateralize and just quickly share an update on this. So the signal turned bullish at 2 cents. It went to 7 cents. And I think the general rule, this is kind of like an old school rule from back in the ICO days, is to basically take out your initial investment once it does a 3x. So it did a 3x. We covered it because we saw it had a high trader grade. It was a strong buy based on all these different metrics, technicals, quant grade, and the signal was bullish. And it was low cap with great tokenomics. It launched on pump.fun, basically as kind of a fair launch. And the way I describe this is it's basically moonshots or pump.fun for real world assets. Now, we're not saying this is going to be the next Ondo, the next big thing, but the risk to reward ratio just made sense. We got in at about 20 million, 22 million. It went to like 70. If you go to market cap, it went to 73 million. So it made money. Took out the initial. Now we have house money we're playing with. And this, technically, it's still bullish. Now, I don't know if I would enter right now because the market is very, very risk off. Although it's good to see that it's a strong buy still, it's good to see that the signal is still bullish. But I would just watch it. If this keeps on going down and it goes to buy and neutral, I would be cautious of getting in. The price has gone down. We can see it's down about 35% in the last 1 week. So I would just put it on a watch list and just wait and see. If you already made money on this, I would take some off the table because the market being bearish. But these are the kind of trades you want to keep on finding, right? Low cap with lots of upside in a trending narrative, RWA with good tokenomics. So we actually found a similar token last week. If you're on the platform, all this is right there on the platform. Trader grade, almost 87%, strong buy, great technicals. The signal turned bullish at this low price, whatever that is. Let's see how we've done. So it's done. So it's kind of stayed flat now, but up about 22% in the month. So it hasn't really done much. Now we kind of got into this as a second trade because we took money off of Collat and then reinvested that into this. And it was a low cap, same thing as well. Not the best tokenomics compared to collateralize, but FDV was low. It was under 25 million FDV, and market cap was under 10 million. And there was good trading volume, over 1 million in daily trading volume. And it was listed on Gate, Bybit, and MEXC and KuCoin. So all the low cap exchanges. Actually, let's pull up the website here. This was, I guess, opening in a different tab. Where's the website? Okay, hold on. Just give me 1 second. Let me pull up their Twitter instead. Okay, hold on. Not that. Okay, so let's pull up their Twitter. Okay, so real world assets layer 2 blockchain. Now, I'm not saying fall in love with this. This is purely a trade, just based on the trader grade. Um, yeah, so the future of real world assets on chain. And it just had, I know it sounds kind of silly, but in crypto, it just had the look. It had the vibe, right? I'm not saying this is going to be the next big thing, but positive technicals, low cap, and a trending narrative on Bybit, right? So it has liquidity, right? So it had a chance to possibly do well as a trade, right? And that's all we're doing this. All we're doing is trading this. Now, for now, the plan is to basically just watch it. If this trader grade keeps going down, and if this turns bearish, we're out. We're selling everything. We're taking our ball and we're going back home. We'll go back home. We'll debrief. We'll come up with a new game plan, but we're not gonna bag hold this when this is bearish, right? So that's that. What did actually do well is this other project called Port3 Network. This is an AI project. And honestly, I had never heard of this project at all until last week when our platform gave it a very high trader grade. It had a high trader grade, basically strong buy, bullish signal at 2 cents. It's now at 6 cents. Actually, let me see when we got in. Let me see if I can get the price. Because if it's up 3x, kind of takes some money off the table. Port. Why is this not? Okay, so let me just see when I got in. Okay, so we got in slightly under 4 cents, like 3.9. Okay, yeah, so we didn't catch it as early. Yeah, basically, I think when we because we made the order through an OTC desk, which takes some time, especially with DEXs. This would have been faster just buying, honestly, straight on DEXs ourselves. But anyway, why this stood out? Strong buy, bullish trading signal. FTV, even back then, but right now it's about 61 million. Market cap about under 31 million. So pretty low cap. And it's an AI project with pretty good fundamentals, good investor list. Jump Crypto invested, and Kikoin Ventures invested. Actually, let's pull up their. Let's go to crypto fundraising. That's where we typically get our data from for the cap table. So Port3. Okay, so we see here, Kikoin Ventures invested, Jump, Cogent Momentum, Gate, DWF, and this one I've never heard of. But anyway, is this the same one? So it seems like they pivoted. Here it says one-stop platform to create, utilize, and evolve your Web3 identity. Because they're now basically an AI project. If we go back to our platform here, an AI data layer network. Yeah, so they pivoted the idea, it looks like, which does happen. Let me close some of these other tabs. But basically, we came here and it just had the same. It seemed like it was a good trade. The technicals were there, pretty good fundamentals in terms of investors. Jump Capital is one of the better investors in crypto, surprisingly. I think if you go to, is it Crypto Rank? And if you go to, maybe they have it here, Jump Funds, Jump Crypto. Okay, yeah. So they made almost 100 investments. So they have it here as tier two. Average return about 5.5x. And that's in a bear market, or in a bearish trend. But let's go to ROI. Where's ROI? I thought there was like a table here. Well, their top investments. So you got Sui, Aptos, Pcoin, Terra Classic back in the day. Let's just go to funds here. Now this is looking at retail ROI. Okay, they made some changes here. Okay, I was trying to find. Okay, never mind. I'm just going down this rabbit hole. But anyway, they're a decent investor, is what I'm getting at. Decent investor, technicals look good, an AI project, low cap. So it was worth a trade basically. And honestly, I don't know everything they do, but we're trading this. We're not buying and holding. And based on the technicals, it seemed like a worthwhile trade, right? And basically, we just watch this until this goes back to being bearish, and the grade here is not a strong buy anymore. But I would say that you can just look for this simple bearish signal. Once it goes back to red, you sell. Or if you see this go to neutral and sell, time to get out. Now, but basically, that's it. This is an AI low cap trade, basically. You can delve deeper into the fundamentals and see all that if you like it, but this is a pure trade. I think that's basically it. If we go back to the list. Now, let's say for some reason you wanted to snipe and find trades in this market, which I would not recommend, but let's say you did. You could come here, go to the top grades. We added a new column that shows you when the signal turned bullish to help you with timing. But let me add the filters I normally use. So show us only bullish tokens with more than 1 million trading volume. And we still want low caps, so we'll do under 100 million market cap. And this is basically the list. Nothing here is really jumping out because all these are low caps and memes. If I wanted to add more filters, let's see what we could do. I see it. The port 3 is here. RWA axis here. Here, let's maybe make this 5 million. And let's say we don't want anything that's reducing in trader grade. Let's actually do 10% change in trader grade and see if we get a smaller list. Because we got a smaller list here. I see something here in Pixels. This is actually one of our portfolio investments as a fund. Looks like something's brewing there. But yeah, there's nothing really happening in the market. So I would not force it, to be honest. If we make this more relaxed, We need to look at Bluefin last week with our customer webinar for premium customers. Very interesting project. Basically, it's a DEX on SUI, and we are bullish on SUI ecosystem, although we don't hold any SUI. But I do think it will do well this cycle relative to Solana and ETH and Bitcoin. I think there's a good chance it outperforms. And it's a hedge. Although they had the hack, but what we covered on the webinar, if we come here, so the signal turned bullish. Trader grade is rising. So it's good to see that it's rising in a bearish market. Not the best tokenomics. FTV is about 121 million. Market cap under 40 million. Basically, it's the hyperliquid on SUI. It's kind of the best analogy. They have a good cap table. Polychain, Brevin Howard, and Susquehanna Investment Group. So they have a lot of institutional capital backing them. And if we go to the website here, it's basically I think it was Spot and Perp Dex and a Dex aggregator. And I think the reason it was doing well, liquidity, since the hack for the top DEX on SUI, which was Cetus, I believe. If we just go to DeFi Llama and just filter out based on SUI ecosystem. So SUI has about 1.7 billion in TVL. And we see here Bluefin is third in TVL, about 185 million. And we can see here in the last 1 month, it's more than doubled in TVL. So 103% change in 30 days in TVL and Bluefin. Why that matters is Cetus, which had the hack, lost about 84% in TVL. So you have capital migrating from Cetus to Bluefin. And as a result, Bluefin has been trending up. So that's one worth watching. I believe we have this on our watch list. Yes, we do. I start this. So we are watching this. Not the ideal trade, but it's definitely a move worth watching. Because let me see if we have Cetus in here, just to kind of compare the price action. Yeah, so this is a sell. They do have better tokenomics, but FTV is 134 million. And we can see here it's down about almost 30% in 30 days. And the signal turned bearish May 25th. So basically, I would not look back. I would get out if you're trading this. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's check in the chat and see how we're doing. I hope you're all doing well. Good evening from Ireland. What's up? Welcome. Thank you for all the congrats. Okay, there's some lag here. Let's see how we're doing on Mentimeter. If we have any questions, we can answer. I think I have to log in on this other side. Just give me a few minutes here. Okay, how do I... We'll add some music. I guess make that full screen. What's okay? So first question: what is going on with AstroDAO? AstroDAO is not AstroDAO anymore. AstroDAO was migrated over to Token Metrics. There was an airdrop to all AstroDAO holders. So Token Metrics, TMAI, basically acquired the team. Now the token is still out there, but basically it was migrated over to Token Metrics. So anything AstroDAO is now Token Metrics. Now we do plan to launch our AI indices, which will be the new iteration of what the AstroDAO team had done, because we did help with incubating them, but now it's going to be fully under the Token Metrics umbrella, and we're hoping to have that soon. There've been some last minute delays, but very, very excited for what's coming. I gave a preview, I think, on the last live stream or the one before that, on the AI indices coming, and yeah, very, very excited. But I would not, because the AstroDAO team basically has moved on, so I would not have any expectations. Basically, anything AstroDAO and the tech and all that is going to be under the Token Metrics umbrella. Now, basically, it's just meme coin with the dolphin. But in this market, I think that's a little tough. Can you check out Peak? Yes, we can. Let me close all these other tabs. So Peak is a project we love. It's been a little slow. Honestly, anything that's not AI or memes has just not moved much this cycle. But this is a project we think definitely has long-term potential. But right now, the chart's not looking good. Trader grade says strong sell, not just sell, but strong sell. And the chart is bearish from 12 cents. FTV is 446 million. So it's the peak coin list sale was at 333 million. So it's not looking good. And honestly, looking at this, it doesn't seem like it's going to get better anytime soon. So I would, stand about 64% in 6 months, 75% from the all-time high. It's one of those projects that I think just Deepin has not had its Deepin season yet. And if the market is bearish and this token is bearish, I think that's a signal to, if you're trading or swing trading, basically, if you're concerned with the price of Peak in the next 6 to 12 months, it's time to sell. If you're not concerned with the price of Peak in the next 6 to 12 months, and you can hold this until next cycle, which means until the next Bitcoin halving and beyond, and 2 years after that, then that's fine. But if you're worried about the opportunity cost, I think it's not looking good. Right? I see here it peaked at, the irony, peaked at 66 cents, 67 cents, 68 cents. Signal turned bearish 44 beginning of the year. Yeah, so honestly, I would just follow this signal. And I would just wait for this to flip back to being bullish. It's just been a little slow. That's just the market. Things have been tough. Okay. So Roman got answered. Why isn't this? Okay, here I have to keep on going to full screen to get this to work. All right. What is going on with Mint Layer? The same thing. I mean, the market is not good. If we go to mint layer, it's in sell, and the signal is bearish. So I would not be looking at this right now. FTV is low. Um, yeah, I would just wait until this turns back to being bullish to look at this for a trade. If you're in now, still, honestly, I'll just follow these signals. Now we thought this would also do well, just hasn't performed well. Basically, yeah, I think these signals have kind of been helpful. So if they're bearish again, I would stick to them being bearish. So basically, I would get out. I would avoid holding a bearish signal token when the market as a whole is also bearish. If you really love it, you can try to buy it back. But I think, as mentioned before, right now this cycle has been a trader's market because a lot more tokens are launching this cycle than past cycles due to platforms like Pump.fun. So imagine if you had like 1 million tokens competing for the same liquidity, and then the next cycle you have 100 million tokens competing for the same liquidity, because not much liquidity has entered the market. We're still at 3.4 trillion market cap total. Last cycle was 3 trillion, but the amount of tokens available has 100x or more, thanks to meme coins and pump launchpads. So basically, not enough tokens are getting the liquidity they need to moon. So right now, I'll keep it very straight, very simple. If a token is bearish on our platform and the market is bearish, I would not hold. I would maybe put it on a watch list if I really love it, and wait for the market to bounce back, to basically for the token to be bullish and the market indicator to be bullish, to re-enter. And the best case, even with AI projects that did well last year in December, Eliza. And sometimes it's tough because sometimes you want to hold. Like we could have sold this a lot earlier and we didn't, and we took a big L. Because if we come here, we just launched at about 4 cents, bottomed at 2. It went. Now our signals here were a little late to this. It peaked at 14 cents, and then it went bearish at 6 cents, January 12th. Basically, 8 days before the Trump inauguration, when we thought and everybody thought crypto was going to the moon, right? Because the first pro-crypto Congress, pro-crypto regulation was coming, and the signal said bearish, and we said, we don't know about that. So we kept on holding, and it kept on being right. And we ended up selling somewhere around the middle of here, but we could have avoided a large catastrophe, to be honest. Because we thought, hey, you know what, AI projects will bounce back, but you can't fall in love with these new tokens because the market moves fast unless you want to hold them. Actually, this is the wrong one. Why is it showing? Yeah, is it really down that low? Hold on, did I get? Actually, no, sorry. AI 16Z is what I should be. I guess this is the meme coin now, the knockoff. Okay, yeah, this is more realistic. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So this end of November 30th, turned bullish at 39 cents. It went to $2.09. We basically held all the way here. This actually turned bearish a day after inauguration at $1.01. Now, if we, I'll keep it 1 year. And we thought, hey, this is one of the blue chip AI agents. And nope. and just kept on coming down and down and down. And all these projects, even same thing with AI XPT. This is one of the top agents on Virtuals protocol. And this basically same thing. It launched at 5 cents. Bullish 31 cents, peaked at 66, bearish at 48, and it just went all the way down. Now this one is still bullish. This one we did buy back in. But not, honestly, right now it's a trader's market. I think you just got to follow the indicators to a T. And just swing trade all these. Right? This is still bullish, but we are watching it. If this turns bearish and this goes to neutral or sell, I think time to get out. Because we covered this. My friend told me about this at 30 million market cap FDV. We're watching it, got in about 50 million, and bought some more later. And I think we got in under 100 million because we didn't want to ape in because it was going up. It went to like almost a billion, yeah, almost 900 billion FDV, and then came back crashing down. Now we still think it's one of the blue chip AI agents, this Eliza, but right now it's a trader's market. That's just the honest truth. Projects that are not new with fundamentals have just not done well because a lot of tokens fighting over very little liquidity. All right. Let me just check the comments here. Based AI, yeah, we've looked into that some time back, but nothing. Honestly, I would just, for any tokens, you can just look them up on the platform because we don't want to just dive too much into everything. Pippin, same thing. We had that as a trade a while back, then we got out. It's not really, nothing really has performed well this cycle, except maybe a few projects, not counting the meme pump and dumps or plays. Hype is one of those that has just kind of consistently done well, although it's getting a little frothy. Okay, but let's go back to the AMA. Should I sell crypto or buy? Oh, bull run is still here. Well, I think we kind of covered this in the market update. If the market is bearish, which it is as of today, and the token is also bearish, I think it's a perfectly reasonable thing to sell. If you don't plan to hold that until the next Bitcoin halving, I would personally get out. Not financial advice, but I would get out. But if it's a token that you think will still be around by next Bitcoin halving, or phrased differently, if it's a token you think has enough fundamentals to defy the odds, because 95% or more of most tokens never achieve the prior all-time highs the following cycle, right? If you think it's special enough to be the outlier, right, to go against, to basically be a black swan, then hold. But to be honest, I don't think that's the case in crypto anymore, right? I think because I would say I'm more sort of value investor, buy and hold. But this cycle is straight up a trader's market. So I've gone through how I'm approaching this, because at the end of the day, you have to adapt to the market. The market does not adapt to you, right? The only time the market could maybe adapt to you, I think, is if you have a very long time horizon. But I think based on how people are commenting in the chat, I don't think the time horizon is that long, right? You can try to be Warren Buffett, but the max drawdown is going to be tremendous. If you can weather that, a max drawdown of 95% or more, that's fine, right? but that's not for everybody, which is fine too, right? Like with me, the only thing I can stomach dropping to 95% or more is basically TMAI, because that's my baby, right? That's my life's work. I know it's not done the greatest, but we'll keep on building. We're still here, and we'll have big updates coming out soon. We just launched our API that's powered by TMAI. It's been through alpha and beta. Anybody now can come here and go to developers API. You can get an API key and start building. And we'll be adding more endpoints. Like if you come here, we've made updates to the onboarding. Um, Actually, not that. Right? But if you want to build applications using Tokenmetrics, that's all here. You can come here and see all the endpoints we have. So we have pricing data, our trader grades, investor grades, sentiment, AI reports. We'll be adding indices and some other stuff. And we're also launching integrations. Now we want to build integrations for platforms. We're actually working on one for Eliza OS. So all the developers building AI agents on Eliza can get access to Tokenmetrics data. We want to build integrations as well for Virtuous Protocol. So any devs on Base building Virtuous agents, which has had a pretty good month with the whole Virgin Points program, can get Tokenmetrics data available. Right? So we're kind of want to be the data provider for all these AI agents. Right? Imagine them being able to automate building trading bots using our signals. Right? So imagine we'll take like Pepe. Right? One of the things our developer team is also working on is integrating our API and show people how to build trading bots with our signals using Hyperliquid and our API. So some pretty cool stuff coming out. Keep an eye out on that. But yeah, I mean that's basically it. Let me just check the chat and see how we're doing. But I think we can wrap things up here. So do you think we're in a longer term bear market? Neither. We're in a bearish trend. As mentioned before, the concept of a bull market and bear market is not quite relevant anymore. We're in a bearish trend right now. I do think, if you want to put it in that perspective, yes, I still think we're in a bull market. I think the time frame of spring 2026 to fall 2026 is when I think the peak will happen. But this is just a hypothesis based on just looking at the data. Every bull market or bull cycle lasts longer than the past, on average about 25%. So that's why I think it's 2026 and not 2025. But we do follow the trend right now. I think you have to kind of do that. Right? The days where you just buy and hold Polygon at under a penny and goes to almost $3 are not quite happening, to be honest. Right? Or buying helium, right? Or because the market is just not getting much new capital, and there are a lot more tokens fighting over that limited amount of capital out there, which leads to sector rotation, which means people are just chasing the pump, chasing the hype, chasing the hot sector of the month, right? Whether it's real world assets or AI agents or AI or memes, every month it's a sexy, shiny new token or category people are trading because of just the competition. So the days where you could just buy an L1, I mean, the only thing that's really done that this cycle, I think, is hype. Right? Like I think hype is going to be around next cycle. Right? So if you're buying and holding hype, I think you'll be fine. Right? And the signal is still bullish. It's still a buy. It's it's done relatively well. It's up almost 70% in the last month. So it's one of those outliers. All right. Well, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you all for being um, customers, token holders, subscribers. Let us know what you think. And we'll be back as usual next week on Mondays. And as we like to say, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Thank you.